Welcome to the Daily Echo. It is Tremendous Tuesday, March 3rd. I was reading a quote this morning, and that's going to be the Daily Echo today. Viktor Frankl is one of my favorite authors, and his life is just an incredible example to me. In fact, one of the books of the month in the past is Man's Search for Meaning. But this is what Viktor Frankl said, and I'm sure many of you have heard it. He said, "This is the core of the human spirit. If we can find something to live for, if we can find some meaning to put at the center of our lives, even the worst kind of suffering becomes bearable." As I see a lot of patients in my office on a daily basis, many of them have physical ailments, but as well as the physical pains that they have, I've noticed that there's quite a bit of mental pains and quite a bit of mental suffering. Many of the people that I see don't enjoy what they do. And many people walking the earth today don't have much passion, and don't have much love for the things that they do. And so you can see when the going gets difficult, it's easy to bow out. When we look at the life of Viktor Frankl, we see a man that loses his spouse, doesn't really know it, but he thinks he knows it because he's in the concentration camp. He literally has not been given any food whatsoever to eat day after day after day after day. He's basically dwindling down to nothing more than bone and skin, does not see any way out. And during this time period, he found a reason, a why, to continue to go on. As he would lay in those wood slats that had each man sleeping side by side because they cramped him in together, he began to see himself post-concentration camp, teaching, inspiring people, helping them to find a better way of life. In the worst condition possible, he was able to let his mind become creative. We talked yesterday about becoming creative, and it's one of the things that we lack in our world today. We have so much information, and so we typically think if I don't have the answer, it exists, I can just Google it and find it, instead of thinking and creating better solutions. Sometimes when our lives are dismal, we have to find a reason to get through it. We have to find a why. And Viktor Frankl's why was to uplift and help people. And after he left the concentration camps, he produced incredible works that changed the world as we know it, that changed psychology as we know it. So it's so important as you look at the things that you're doing on a daily basis to start to understand and have these big whys. Why do I go to work? What do I want to accomplish? How can I help the people around me? How can I make the world a better place? When you do that, you really don't have suffering in the journey. You really can have joy in the journey. And that's a big challenge for all of us. And those of us that are parents, that have children that are still growing up, I think the biggest thing that we can instill in them is to dream and to be creative and to do something that's going to make them happy, to find something that's a passion enough for them that they can change the world. You know, kids will tell us, I'm going to change the world. And sometimes being a sort of not so intelligent parents, we try to push their hopes down a little bit because we don't want them to get hurt, instead of buoying them up and saying, you know what, you can change the world. So great lesson today from Viktor Frankl. Figure out your whys in life, and it doesn't matter what happens, what situation hits you in life, you'll be able to get through them. Life is meant to be fun. It's meant to be a journey. It's meant to be joyful. And even under the worst of situations, sometimes we can find meaning and purpose in that experience that makes us better and helps us lift another person somewhere down the road. Have a tremendous Tuesday. We'll be coming back at you again tomorrow on The Echo on Wednesday. Thanks as always for taking time.